was more of the fact that I was harder on myself, uh, emotionally wise, meaning that I didn't really care for myself. I was a cutter. I didn't want to be here. Being adopted, I felt like no, my biological parents didn't want me, but my adopted parents did. But it's still the enemy still played on my
Yeah,
emotions with that. And then moving from a big city to country, you start getting teased because why? Because you're the only disabled chick. So that made it even worse.
yeah,
So when I got with him, depression was already in me. It just my mom's passing just let it sit in. It just let it smoothly roll right on, and we
so
just kind of just
listen,
clicked.
we can keep this conversation going all night. But we gonna continue tomorrow night because Tanya wants to do it on her show. So we gonna
Okay.
keep some extra stuff for tomorrow. So tune in, y'all, for part two. But I thank you, Tanya, for actually being the visionary for this book, because it is one of those stories that people need to know that yes, marriage is a beautiful thing when two people are aligned according to God's will and his purpose. And so
Mhm.
when you're aligned and committed to actually loving each other through the good, the bad, and the indifferent, but learning to communicate through all of those things, because it's not always going to be rainbows and sunshine. There's going to be some
Right.
storms that you're going to
Right.
have to encounter to get
Mhm.
through to each and every task that comes before you. But learning
Mhm.
to put God first in the midst of those complicated situations will be one of those things that, thank you, Miss Cheryl. That God is putting you together for a purpose. And if your purpose isn't aligned with what God has for you,
Mhm.
it won't work. It doesn't matter how many times you want to push and try to force the issue. If God is not in it, it's not going to
Mhm.
prosper. It's not going, because
Mhm.
God will match you with the person that is prepared to propel you to the purpose that He has for you. And
Mhm.
once you are aligned, everything that you've been praying for, praying and positioning yourself for, God is going to elevate it. It's going to come to reality if you are aligned with what God has for you. Because a lot of
Amen.
times we get off course. But I thank everybody for tuning in tonight, because y'all know once I get to talking about God and what He does, I get going and
Yes.
we'll be here all
Hello.
night, and I don't want to do that. So, as I always say, stay out of God's business. The only thing He needs you to do is be obedient to what He's called you to do. Because that's what I do. I be hard headed sometimes, but I try my best to stay obedient. He be looking at me sideways, but I'm obedient to what He's called me to do. I love you guys, and thank you for being here tonight.
Good night.
Good night.